Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on this very warm Sunday here in the UK. I hope things are all going well where you are in the world. We will be joining the church soon. Just wanted to welcome you all to Thundersley and remind you to put your names for healing into our comments section if you haven't already. I do mark them all up so that Frank can see them easily when Frank does the healing prayer shortly. But in the meantime, we will say the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen.
Lovely. Thank you, everyone. Well, we'll be joining the church shortly. I can see that they're just finishing their prayers in church tonight. As I say, if you have any healing names tonight, please do put them into the comments and I will draw Frank's attention to them. We have our healing prayers tonight, followed by our Bible reading, and then our medium tonight is the Rev Ashley Oliver. So really lovely to have Ashley back with us for just the second time, but really enjoyed the last service with Ashley. So we've got that to look forward to shortly.
I will now light our church candle and invite those of you at home to light your own candles if you're able to do so. And as we do this, I invite you to ask your loved ones in spirit to join close to us now so that we may feel their love and presence all around us. May this be the candle to enlighten us all, the light of strength and love that spreads all around the world, the fire that enables us to burn out all our pride, our selfishness, and the impurities that are within us. May it be the flame that brings warmth to our hearts, warmth to our families, our neighbours, our friends, and all those around us, and those we meet on our life's journey, and all those who need it most. I now ask you to join me in sending out love and light to all those in need of healing. Loving thoughts and prayers create a strong healing energy that can reach all around the world, to all the people and places that need it most. I'll begin by reading the names from our church healing book and then offer a healing prayer. So now our prayers are asked for Jade and Bump, Darren, Claire, Devin, Talia, Tanya, Lorraine, Chris, Elaine, Kath, Jenny W, Jennifer S, David, Marion, David, Donna, Lawrence, Diane, Veronica, Fran, Joan, Colin, Terry, Peter, Cyril, Steve, Jenny, Bonnie, Sam, June, Rita, Claire, David, Zoe, Bruce, Stevie, Annie, Richard, Brenda, Martin, Eve and Peter, Shirley, Peggy, Helen, Charlie and Sue, Alan and Kay, Spencer, June, Dennis and Mark, Carol and Bill, Annie, Hilary, Paul and Mark. Sorry, that was Auntie Hilary, sorry. Alison, Tony Senior, Amelia and Riley, Bethany, Sen, Sue and family, Nigel and family, Patrick, Marcus, Crystal, Alana, Jackie and family, Alex and Sarah, Donna, Jill, David, Diane, Frank, Simon, Margaret, Peter, Gladys, John, Laurie and Iris, Lincoln, Jade, Jenny, Sean, Simon, Jade, baby, Jenny and Gil, Carol and Millie the dog. Healing for Terry, Lorraine, Bob, George, Scott, Kerry, Liz, Pat, Barbara, Michelle, Lindsay, Leanne and Dave and Penny, Wendy and Paul, Mooley, Ivy Mooley, the Bourne family and baby Jay, Curtis, Sarah, baby George and Chloe Bourne, Steve, Jackie, Mark, Peter, Doreen and Kanda, Brenda Forster, Karen, Jeffrey, Victoria, Karen, Lawrence, Jason, Kelsey, Tom, Gavin, Christine, Betts, and Bennett, and Ange, and Georgie Jr. Dear Heavenly Father, we join together now to send out our thoughts of love, light, and healing around the world to all those in need of healing, both physically and emotionally. To reach and protect our animal kingdom and the world of nature that is all around us. We pray that our energy may reach those who are cold or homeless tonight, and all those less fortunate than ourselves, wherever they may be. May our thoughts and energy bring love, calm, and peace. And we ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen. Amen. We'll now have 1 minute's silence so that you can send out your own personal thoughts and prayers to all those in need, those whose names you have read, and any you may now think of in your own thoughts. And this will be broken, gracious Spirit, the words of which are in the front of your hymn book. And I will now invite Peter to pray.
Evening all. Lovely full church again, and welcome to those online. It's nice. Tonight's reading is about the Last Supper. Last week the reading was from St. John chapter 6. Jesus feeds the 5,000. The reading was summarised with our ability to link with God through Christ and meditation. Tonight's reading, the Last Supper, leads us on a similar journey. Although I've chosen Luke's testimony, it is also witnessed by both Matthew and Mark. Their headings refer to the Lord's Supper. The message in all three testaments are the same, but by reading all three, extra points can be found between them that greatly helps the understanding of what is going on at the time. It was at the time of the Jewish festival Passover. Jesus sent Peter and John to make preparations to meet and eat the Passover. Their directions were to go to the city and meet a man carrying a jar of water. This seems to suggest a change in the spiritual calendar. The water carrier is the zodiac sign of Aquarius, whereas the time of Jesus was in the time of Pisces, the fish, which many references are made to in the scriptures. Perhaps why Luke used the Last Supper to have a double meaning, the change of the zodiac signs and Jesus' return to God. The meeting was to take place in a large upper room, again suggesting heavenly and Aquarius an air sign. Of course, this is only supposition from developing thought. When the preparations were made, Jesus said, "I have eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you." In opening the communion, Jesus had foreseen his betrayal, but knew that the Son of Man will go as decreed. As Mark said, whilst they were eating, Jesus took bread and wine and gave thanks and made a covenant with them. Mark adds, "and for the many in the righteousness of sins." It's also noted that John with Peter were chosen to go and make preparations. Where John features in our present spiritual development under Aquarius is left to your own thoughts. However, with regards to the reading, the Lord's Supper, using Matthew and Mark's heading, Holy Communion, the Eucharist, is the giving of thanks to God through service. Our Christian Spiritist Church hold a short service of communion on the first Sunday of the month. It is open to all. It requires no previous Christian or spiritual training to take part. It enables all participants to give thanks to God through Christ and renews God's blessing to them at the ceremony of bread and wine. Tonight's reading is from Luke chapter 22, the Last Supper. Then came the day of the unleavened bread, on which the Passover lamb was to be sacrificed. Jesus sent Peter and John, saying, "Go and make preparations for us to eat the Passover." "Where do you want us to prepare for it?" they asked. He replied, "As you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house that he enters, and say to the owner of the house, 'The teacher asks, where is the guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples?' He will show you a large room upstairs, all furnished. Make preparations there." They left and found things just as Jesus had told them. So they prepared the Passover. When the hour came, Jesus and his apostles reclined at the table, and he said to them, "I've eagerly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat again until it finds fulfillment in the kingdom of God." After taking the cup, he gave thanks and said, "Take this and divide it among you. For I tell you, I will not drink again from the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes." And he took bread, gave thanks and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "This is my body given to you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, after the supper, he took the cup, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. But the hand of him who is going to betray me is with mine at the table. The Son of Man will go as it has been decreed, but woe to that man who betrays him." They began to question among themselves which of them it might be, or who would do this. God bless that reading. Thank you.
It is time now for those of you who are watching us online to leave us here in church and be joined by Rob and Ashley, who will guide you through the rest of our service. We thank you for joining us and look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and it's really, really good to be with you once again. Gosh, wasn't that? Don't I love the way that our Spirit Inspirers work, and what I've chosen to talk to you about this evening fits beautifully with the reading from Frank and just the whole flow of the evening. So I love it when it works like that. But for people I haven't seen before, I haven't come across before, it's lovely of you all saying hi. Hello, Mandy. Thank you for the warm welcome. Hi to Andrew and Lizzie and Angie and Rachel and all the people in the chat. So it's really lovely to see you here. Keep on saying hello and checking in with your friends in the messages and the comments. It's really lovely community you've got here online. I do enjoy watching the online services at home. For people I haven't met before, I'm Rev Ashley Oliver, so I'm an interfaith minister. I'm a Christian spiritualist by heart, and a long time fan and watcher of all of the amazing stuff you do at Thundersea. So it's a real joy and pleasure to be here with you this evening. What I always like to do while I start is to light a candle for us. And I know we are a virtual community and we've been hived off now to do our own little thing online. So I'm going to create some lovely sacred space for us. So I'm going to light our candle, light our light in this world that we are in, so that we can create this space together. If you've got a little candle at home, I don't know if you do that on a Sunday evening, you light your candle as you settle down to watch the service at home. Hello to Alison, hello to Christine and Paula. Hello, Angie, lovely to meet you too. Loads and loads of lovely people dropping in. That's really nice, thank you. What I'd like to talk to you about this evening that I'd prepared, and it's lovely that the reading was from the Last Supper, because I always ask my inspirers and my guides and that amazing spirit of divine power what it is that they want to say, what it is that's in their souls, what wisdom do they want to bring to us as part of this service. And I always like to do a little bit of philosophy because it's really important to me. It's the thing that I think about when I am having my washing up at the kitchen sink moment, long after a Sunday service is finished. I remember sure some of the messages and some of the connections, and they're lovely and beautiful, and it's lovely to see those happening. But more often than not, it's a little thing or a snippet that I think about that resonates with me. So what I've chosen to talk about, which fits beautifully with the Last Supper, is how we reclaim our spiritual authority in this very noisy world. The world is exceptionally noisy at the moment. I don't know how you feel, but I was commenting to my family today. I just feel almost, and as someone who's a sensitive soul and who is kind of awake empathically to some of the plights that are going on around the world, and I don't know whether you watch the news or not. I tend to try not to, only because it's so overwhelming at the moment, and we're doing our own little bit to shine our light. But we're living in a time of real volume, and it's not just the news and social media, but that feeling of wanting to withdraw into that inner place, that inner still small voice. And last time I was here, it was coming into the time of the Good Shepherd, and we were talking about the metaphor of the shepherd looking for a sheep, even in the midst of the storm, and the sheep are wandering off, and actually the shepherd will always find us. And it's lovely that the Last Supper here was spoken about this evening, because that is a way for us to get very quiet. For me, anything that involves the Eucharist or spending time one-to-one, where we get to spend time with our loved ones in the spirit world, our spirit team, our guides, our helpers, and more than that, the presence of that divine power that works through all of us. When we get time to sit and we are quiet, that is when we get our daily bread. As it said in the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. For me, our daily bread can refer on the physical level to our material needs to make sure that we never go hungry and we're provided just enough to keep us going. But for me, our daily bread also relates to the reigniting of that spiritual spark every day. Give me each day that reignition of that power of knowing that we are never alone and that we are always guided, and that power of that divine love and that Christ light surrounds all of us. And give me that every day. That is my sustenance. That is my soul food. That is what is going to give me enough motivation to get up and get out and do what needs to be done, to say what needs to be said, to offer the service however I can offer it in the world. So what do we do really in this time of very noise? And it's often the loudest voices that draw the biggest crowds. And that's certainly something we can see online at the moment. And, there's no politics here. This is just human behavior, that when we are all in a state of questioning and there's a lot happening in the world and times of upheaval, what we're looking for somebody who's got a message, who's got something that can offer us some kind of sustenance, something to hold on to, some kind of bread. But more often than not, many of the loudest voices aren't speaking directly to our soul, and we're saturated with this wisdom. We're saturated with outer guidance and look over here for the answer, look over here for the answer, when actually that answer comes from our own inner compass. And that presence of the divine has been with us ever since we took our very first breath on the earth. So this isn't just a psychological crisis. I think that we're also in a spiritual opportunity, a spiritual awakening, a spiritual, call it a crisis. People tend to walk through the doors of spiritualist churches, do they not, when they are in need for the first time? Some of us are lucky that we have this knowing, and we know that we need to walk through those doors, and we need to come to a place where we can have our questions answered, and we can meet with like-minded people and have that reignition of that spark, have our daily bread. But for some people, they are in the wilderness and they are drawn through those doors because they could be in deep grief, or they could be in a period of loss or uncertainty, or they could be suffering a physical illness and need healing or some kind of support, or just somewhere to go to sit quietly, and they see the lights are on, and they may have heard that some of the things that are mentioned in your lovely church and your sanctuary are things that might offer them some kind of balm. But the one thing that I love about spiritualism, and the one thing I love about Christian spiritualism that talks very much about that Christ spark and the Christ light and the ministry and the healing ministry of Jesus, is that for us, we don't believe that God just primarily exists outside of us in a place up there watching, judging, rescuing. But actually for us, the metaphysical truth that we know of is that this is not just a mere man. This was not just a story. This is a living, breathing reality, and it's offering us a route map and a path. It's offering a path to our own inner divinity. The Greeks call it kind of theosis or divination. It's not about us saying that we are going to take that role per se, but it's how we can start to live within the flame of our own heart and our own divinity. So when Jesus says, I'm the way, I'm the truth, I'm the life, he's giving us a map. He's giving us a mystical map. He's saying what exists in me is also what exists in you. And that is about this inner authority, that you're capable of all of the great things. You're capable of hearing God. You're capable of mediumship. You're capable of intuitive ability. You're capable of healing. You're capable of offering somebody comfort and a sense of presence and space and all of these lovely things, all of these beautiful ministry. They're all alive within you. It doesn't exist just within one person in the Bible, through history. It all exists within you. And spiritual authority for me isn't about knowing all of the answers and having all of the answers. And this is something that when I was walking through a very profound period of the dark night within me, is that there's something in me, and I don't know if it's in many of you, that feels like that we should know the answers to the questions. And when we don't, it makes us feel like we're lacking in some way. But then as we push through that and we push through our own inner work and we push through our own defense mechanisms that we've built up over our life, we realize that actually true spiritual authority and humility and walking that path of service is recognizing that we don't always have the answers. And actually it's about having the courage to say that you don't have the answers and to hold that space and to hold that light and to have courage in that moment, to listen inwardly, even when the world is very noisy and everyone is shouting and offering you Facebook adverts and pop-ups online and sign up to my course and do this and do that and my workshop. And it's very noisy in the world, but it's having that courage to turn that off and to go within and then to ask for that. Give me this day our day, give me our daily bread. I need that. I need that reignition of that light within me. So even when you feel insecure, that I think is the path that's so needed at the moment, is those people who are able to go within and have that one-to-one intimate relationship with our guides, our helpers, our loved ones in the spirit world, those people who are a few steps further along this human life awareness pathway than we are, that can offer us some wisdom, so that we can develop that sense of presence. And there was a very interesting discussion last night about the pioneers, and I do like watching online spiritualist services and Lyceum evenings, and I really enjoy the discussion and some of the things that come up. And was talking about some of the amazing pioneers within spiritualism, and we talk so fondly about them. We talk so fondly of Arthur Findlay and Gordon Higginson and Annie Besant and you know, the Theosophists and the different schools of understanding, and how amazing their ability was, and their ability to break through, their ability to speak to people at the time that they were in. And we need to think about the fact that we are in those times now, that we are in a time now where people are desperately seeking and desperately questioning. And who are those pioneers of today? And there are moments in history when spirit, I do believe, bring that awareness to people, but it will only be accessible to us if we've got the ability to break through that veil, to break through that limitation. That mediumship is something that only happens to people who stand on a platform or a rostrum or in a private sitting, and understand that actually mediumship and spiritual gifts are very subtle, and this awareness is very subtle, and we all have that ability to do that. And healing isn't just a service that is offered by people who have been through a certain pathway of learning, that we all have the ability to send healing and prayers and our thoughts to people. And so all of these spiritual pioneers are also the people who had a lot of courage. We've already spoken about courage. They had a lot of courage to be able to say there is a different way to do this. And what was organized religion, what was organized faith paths, actually isn't giving people what they want. And then the spirit world kind of pierced through and brought all of the modern spiritualism, if you like, and the modern theosophy and many other spiritual movements that sprung up around that time of need to the world. What was really interesting was for me, and why so many people love Arthur Findlay and the approach that he took. And actually, you know, he's written some amazing books. So if you can get your hands on some of them, they are absolutely extraordinary. Is that he had the ability to decode and bring together deep faith with a practicality to touching that infinite, touching that soul in a spiritual toolbox. And then he also brought in some of the science and some of the mechanics of mediumship and things that happened in the seance rooms and physical phenomena and trance mediumship and spiritual surgery and so many other facets of this amazing understanding that we're just so blessed to have access to. And I think that was why we hold these pioneers in such regard, is that they were able to bridge all of those gaps and make it a living, breathing reality for all of us, to undemocratize faith, to take it from beyond people who wear stoles and robes and to bring it to people that it became something that everyone, it was the faith of the people, really, wasn't it? It became the new folklore, it became the new law of the folk and the things that people believed. And what I love about Arthur Findlay is he said a beautiful quote, which was, the greatest truths are the simplest, and so are the greatest men. The voice of truth is always loving, always calm, and always kind. And he very much did speak about the Christ light. He may not have described it in that way, but for me, it was absolutely about that Christ consciousness and bringing that out to emerge within ourselves. So I asked myself, what would the pioneers say now? And I often ask that sometimes, and I sometimes sat in churches or listening to services or wandering along, kind of pondering the state of the world. And when you have to just switch things off and go, enough internet for today, enough nonsense for today. And when you stop and reflect and you say, Spirit, come on, what would they say now if they were here? What would they say? And my take on it, and this is my understanding and my take, and the take from my people, is that I think if the pioneers were here now, they'd urge us to stop outsourcing our own spiritual sovereignty, to stop outsourcing our truth, and to really recognize how important our own understanding is, that you have so much wisdom. You have a lifetime's worth of wisdom and a lived experience within you. And there is no other you. You are the only diamond that has been cut and molded and seen and experienced and is set in the most beautiful way, that you shine that Christ light through you. For this moment in time, in this incarnation, in this breath, that is the way the light is moving through you. And that is worthy of celebration. But to understand that, we've got to go quiet. And Arthur Findlay, I also think, would remind us that although we hear beautiful stories and parables in the Gospels and in the Bible, that actually that intelligence didn't stop with the crucifixion. That intelligence didn't then stop once we get to the end of the Bible story, that some of that wisdom is playing out now. We are in our own biblical times. And Spirit is speaking to us all of the time through dreams and intuition and things we come across in nature and mediumship and healing gifts. And the spiritualist tradition is building, but only if we have the courage to keep building and keep moving forward. And that happens through our own personal evolution, as opposed to keep looking backwards all of the time. It's about us having the courage to push forward. So have courage. That's my takeaway from this. Have courage, that we just need to ask for that daily bread every day, and Spirit will provide it. They will provide it. And it is for us, and it's our journey, and it's our sacred relationship that we have. So take courage, friends, and thank you so much for listening to that. I hope that resonated with you. I hope you can take something away from that. Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you. Felt really important. Felt a really important thing to talk about. I know I love talking here because I know that this resonates with you, and you have beautiful Bible readings, and it feels like a very very lovely space to be able to have deep respect for our spiritualist beliefs, and also deep respect for that absolute faith that we have in that presence of divine grace that flows through all of us and is at work in the world. And we are the hands of God at work in the world right now with the very things that you go out and do in the world. So from me to you, thank you. Oh, love that. Love that. Oh, love it. I love spiritual philosophy is something that I really enjoy. And so thank you for all of your lovely kind comments. Mandy, you're so welcome. And Helen is on. It is important, Helen. So yeah, go out with courage and do your thing. And if you've got any examples of you going out into the world and shining like that, then please put it here and almost state your authority. State your authority. Here live on chat that this is some of the ways that you are being used in service by the spirit world. It's so important that we own that and we honor that and we respect that. And I tell people off in my circle, if they say, oh, I am not a, and I will never be a, and mediumship isn't for me. And it's like, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. We are all servants of that great spirit. So, oh, thank you, Cheryl. I'm really pleased that that resonates with you. Thank you to lovely Chloe. Got Christine Moraes on there, Jill Sauder. Sophie, you've been thinking about courage. Sophie, go forth with your courage. Go forth with that. That's your little message. I love that, how spirit worlds blend in. Exactly what I was going to talk about came up in Bible reading, and stuff you've been thinking about as come up in the address. So thank you. Oh, thank you, Andrew. It is important. Amazing. Oh, love that. Love that. I love coming alongside you guys. Right. I'm going to see who I've got from the spirit world here. Now, if you haven't seen me work before, I work in a really blended way. So my spiritual authority is that I work with a mixture of clairvoyance, a mixture of intuition, a bit of spiritual guidance, spiritual philosophy. It all kind of comes through together. So I appreciate there is a little bit of delay using StreamYard. So I will do my very, very best to try and keep up with the comments and kind of blend it all together. But if you understand what I'm talking about, then if you could just put, yes, understand Karen, or yes, understand the dog, or just so I understand what you're saying yes to, and maybe not quite understanding, just so I can make sure I land it correctly. Sometimes spirit build with me, and then I will put it out there, and then it's for you guys to kind of like chip in if you can resonate with that. Sometimes I will be drawn like a laser to a name. I might connect with you psychically initially, and then spirit might come in. So with your permission, I'm going to just work however the great spirit wish to work with me this evening, and we'll see how we get on. So thank you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, Sophie, I just need to, Sophie sharing, and what a beautiful sharing. Thank you so much, and so much courage to you for shining such a strong light out into the world and being visible and present and holding space for people who are going through similar struggles. Oh, beautiful. Lovely. Okay, let's see who we've got. Who am I drawn to? Go for it, girl. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Let's see who we've got. Right, so I have a lady building with me now, and this lady I don't think she was very old. I'd say very old, and I'm saying that relatively. She's very young at heart, but she comes across to me, and I get the impression she may either have had short hair or she would have cut it off quite short just before she passed, because I get the impression that she's like, just cut the hair short, cut the hair short. I think she would have been around mid-age. I don't see her getting very old when she passed to spirit. I think she would have passed quite suddenly. I think she would have been a sister or a friend. She doesn't strike me as anyone's mum. If she was a mum, she would have been a really best friend mum. She would have been the kind of mum you could have gone shoe shopping with. She's got beautiful eyes, very twinkly eyes. She would have been the life and soul of the party and made everyone laugh. I don't know whether this is a cancer condition that she did pass with, or whether it was some other condition that meant that she was fighting, and then when she went, it was very fast when she went. But I'm just trying to see what else has you got. She's also had a love of singing. She had a love of dancing. She would have loved to have gone out. I don't know if she would have worked in hospitality or retail or something where she was out there in energy. She comes across with this beautiful orange color, a beautiful, beautiful color that she presents with. Can anyone take this lady as I'm connecting with her energy? She's coming close. I'm also feeling as if she would have loved holidays and travel. She would have loved food. I'm just trying to see, who are you here to talk to? Who are you here to talk to? She's also talking about brand new garden furniture as well, and getting the garden furniture out and getting the good glasses and not worrying about taking stuff into the garden or to the beach and breaking it. Just go and do it. And there's a celebration coming up. There's a celebration coming up. So who have we got? So Angie, life and soul, she did part. It did feel like it was Cancer. Christine Murray, I know Christine, and I'm very drawn to you, Christine Murray, and I was very drawn to your comment back along. So I don't know who I am with. Okay, I'm going to ask. So there's somebody who's got a birthday celebration coming up really, really soon. Next week, 2 weeks. There's a birthday or a party or a gathering. I'm seeing candles being blown out. So it very much feels like a birthday, which is coming in. You're not late, Jackie. You're perfectly on time. Is anyone who can take Summer? Can you take a celebration? Birthday celebration happening the next week, 2 weeks, really, really close, because I can see her blowing out the candles now, so I know it's happening really, really, really soon. You've got to be able to take life and soul, the party lady. I think she did pass with Cancer. She's not saying it because she's very like, that's like her energy. Blah, 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 blah. She's not presenting with, I came in with Cancer and that's how I was taken. It's like, I know she would have made the nurses laugh. She would have been, you know, it would have been she would have been really owning it, really owning her fight. So Summer. Oh gosh, okay. Both of you, can you listen? I'm going to keep going. What spirits sometimes do is because they're aware that there's lots of people on, sometimes spirit do a little bit of leapfrog. So they'll bring somebody through, and then what it will do is it will make you all think about your spirit loved ones, and then it will draw them in like a magnet so that they can come and be with you and celebrate as well. Jackie, I think I've given you a message before, Jackie, and I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's too many of you. I need to nail this down. What else have we got? We also have a little dog in the spirit world at the moment that would have also passed after a little bit of a fight, but that would have also been some kind of cancer condition. This very little dog would have had like fluffy whiskers, almost like a bit of a designer handbag dog, which also comes in with her. Whether it's her dog or one she's just holding on to, but she would have loved animals. Does anyone take that? Because I need to get this landed now. Anyone who said yes to anything, can anyone take a little dog? It feels like a white dog or kind of like a beigey dog or a champagne-y coloured dog in the spirit world. Okay. Mandy. Okay, Mandy's got a dog with cancer. It's connected. Mandy, can I work with you? Don't worry, Jackie. Thank you so much. And I appreciate this is a little bit. Thank you so much, Mandy. Thank you, everybody. Summer, please keep listening. So what I'd like to say, Mandy, what she's come here to say is there's a little bit of recognizing, Mandy, that you sometimes are your own worst enemy. And she's saying she's very calls a spade, and she would have talked to you very straight up. And she wouldn't have been frightened because she came with so much love. You know, early in the address, I spoke about this hand of spirit that reaches through people's hearts, that she had that kind of heart, that she would have been fearless in what she said, but it would have come from love. Sometimes it would have landed well, sometimes it wouldn't have done. But I think she was fearless in saying things because actually she had this feeling that life is too short. Drink the wine, wear the shoes, say the thing. That was very much the energy she's bringing. And Mandy, what she's saying to you is you're your own worst enemy at the moment, and there's something that you just have to, and she's not telling me what it is, but you just have to let it go. You just have to let it go and recognize that it's never going to be perfect. And I don't know if this is to do with your spiritual work even. And I'm not saying you hold on to grudges. I don't think you do. I think you are very generous and very spiritual in the way that you deal with other people. But I think you give yourself the hardest time. I really do think you give yourself a hard time, Mandy. And you're holding on to your part in situations and things you could have done differently. And she's here to say, you know, Summer is coming, the solstice is here, it's time for new beginnings, turning a new leaf. We're the second part of the year. How much longer are you going to be sat here not moving forward with the things that you really want to do in your life and where you want to be and how you want to be known? If this is not to take, oh, it's a family situation, I also think it's to do with your spiritual unfoldment as well. I very much get the impression that she's with you in your spiritual journey. Wouldn't surprise me if this lady doesn't come through pretty much week after week after week at spiritualist churches, because she's a dream to work with, because she's an absolute chatterbox. You could do a 1 hour's demonstration on a platform with this lady by your side, because she's just got such energy and she's surrounding you with that energy. She's around your house an awful lot. She's in your life an awful lot. She's in the car with you. And she's also encouraging you to just grab life by the horns and just run with it, because you've been putting yourself on the back burner for too long. Now's your time. If it's to do with a family situation, release. That's interesting, that still small voice. Go within, go quiet, ask your team, ask your spirit team, give me another way to look at this. Help me release this. Help me surrender this. Help me just move through this. And they will come around. They're trying really hard. But there's a small part of us that stays in the humanness of the situation. Does that make sense to you? So she's saying, transcend the humanness of it, transcend the need sometimes to be right or to be recognized or to have a sorry. Sometimes we don't get that here. And believe me, many, many, many spiritualist churches this very Sunday evening will be full of people who have made the transition back home to the spirit world, who are coming to say the sorry that they never said here, coming to right the wrongs and apologize and say, I should have dealt with that differently. So she's urging you, drink the wine, wear the shoes, don't wait for the sorry, get out there, do the thing, live in your light, and know that you're only human. We are fully human and fully divine, and we're here to learn, and we're here to have relationships and have our hearts broken and have the joy and the sadness. I hope that makes sense for you, Mandy. She does come through at church, as I thought so. She is very comfortable with this energy. I love people like that. She's a magnificent door opener. And I love, 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 love working with her. Thank you so much, Mandy. Beautiful. Thank you for letting me work with you. The other ladies that could also take this as well. Who else was it? Because I know Mandy had most of that one. And Karen King, you had a teacup Yorkie. That's what I was thinking, because my Nana had a Yorkie. And Summer and many of the other people that could take that. I wonder if you could also take some of that guidance as well, because it felt very universal. It felt very spirit inspired, that would kind of like I said, bounce off multiple hearts that were listening this evening. So thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. And Andrew, beautiful. Okay, let's see who else we've got. Mandy, it's my pleasure. This is my pleasure. Okay, who have we got now? So I've got another lady from the spirit world here. She's got a very different energy. She is quite she's an elegant lady, and she would have come across as having a real sense of grace around her. I also feel that she would have been a dancer, or she would have had very expressive hands when she was on the earth plane, and very long fingers. She would have worn beautiful jewelry, always would have had her nails manicured. She feels like a mum or a grandmother with a very short generation. She does feel like a mum, to be honest. When she's connecting with me, she's also bringing me more music, more singing, but this was more church singing. So this would have been having music around her, and whether she came from a line of people who had strong faith or whether that was her expression. The energy that she's also bringing me as well is she's bringing me a really, really beautifully made, I'm rubbish at pastry, but she's bringing me a really beautiful French pastry, like tarte tatin or something, like not apple pie as we would have it here or over in America. This would have been very beautiful, very beautifully finessed. She's not saying how she passed, but I do feel that there was a congestion around her heart and her lungs that would have made her struggle towards the end to kind of get her breath fully, that would have also impacted on her ability to speak. But I do know that she lost an awful lot of weight towards the end. She was never the biggest lady anyway. She had a very small frame, She also would have had difficulty swallowing, had a very dry mouth in hospital, which also lets me know she would have been wearing oxygen, and would have had to have her, and whether you actually were giving her little drinks of water, she would have had a very, very dry mouth. Who am I with? It feels like a lovely mum who would have loved cooking, been a beautiful cook. There's this connection to a passing around it feels like a heart condition, but I think it would have affected her breathing. The whole chest area would have been constricted towards the end. I also feel like she would have been, it's interesting. Okay, the person who I want to talk to is also a healer, or is exploring healing if you're not yet fully down that pathway. And I get the feeling that she would have very strongly resonated with some kind of caring or nursing or some very direct people-facing profession in her day. Debs Lancaster can take Mum Made Amazing. Debs, can you take all the other stuff as well with that? And you're a Reiki healer. I think I might be with you, Debs. Can you take all the other things as well? The energy of the lady. And I keep moving my hands like this. Can you take all of the energy of the lady? She did come with amazing pastry. So I'm rubbish at pastry. I think it's because you've got to have a certain type of hands, haven't you, Stipe? Pastry hands, they call it. You can take all it. Debs, can I work with you? Thank you very much. So Debs, as I'm connecting in with you, Debs, there's something that you're aware of within your energy as well, Debs. And I'm not going to get, because I know it's a public Facebook chat, but as I'm connecting with you, I have the most difficulty. It just feels like keeping food down. Debs, I don't know if you can take this, but I don't know whether this is anxiety, Debs, or whether this is something in the kind of like GI tract, but it just feels like food. Every time I eat, I just feel like it wears me out and it makes me quite anxious, and having to be quite careful about what I'm eating, whether this is with you or whether this is, again, your mum's energy kind of like coming through. And she sang in church, had strong faces, definitely with you. She's got a lovely voice. And she definitely enjoys you coming to church. She's also talking to you about, Debs, have you, you can't, okay, bless you. Thank you for confirming that, Debs. Okay, bless your heart. This feels really, really challenging. It feels, and Mum had similar. Okay, that's the mirroring, that's the connection that I'm aware of. Thank you for confirming that, Debs. How you all, Debs, are you thinking about going into some kind of working with people in helping them pass or caring? I know you're a Reiki healer, but is there also some desire to help people who are nearing the end of their life, or working with families who are preparing funerals, almost a bit like I do, funeral celebrancy or that kind of thing? Is that something that's around you at the moment, or is that something your mum would have been particularly good at? Because I very much get the feeling that you've got a real knack there, Debs. This is where you go quiet. You're not going to confirm or deny that one. But I think you've got a real knack there, Debs, if you haven't already thought about that. And I'm also seeing your mum patting your hand. She's patting my hand. Let death dealer work. Mum was good at that too. Oh, interesting. Now, it's not for me to tell you what to do. You are a sovereign soul, as we've already discovered today. You are absolutely in charge of your own destiny. But that energy is very much there, very much in the family, and very much that kind of like soul calling. If you work down your lineage, there's some stuff there for you to unpack, because you've also got a natural gift of saying the right thing. There's some spirit inspiration coming in. I spoke about the different facets of the diamond. I think your facet is shining very, very brightly at the moment, Debs. If you're not already actively pursuing your spiritual development, I think spirit are knocking at the door very loudly, and your mum is very elegantly ringing the doorbell. She's not banging on the door, she's ringing the doorbell, and she will keep ringing it until you answer. She was very spiritual and she was calm. Oh, bless you. Yeah, she's very much encouraging you about that. What else have you got to say? She is letting me know that you've been putting important things on the back burner. So this is all of the stuff that when we're busy and when we're doing things and we're helping other people and we're in our spiritual loveliness and we're in our bubble and we're reading and we're talking to spirit, actually, please don't forget the material things. So please don't forget to She's bringing lots of stuff in the garden. So I think this is about you just kind of keeping your feet on the ground a little bit, Debs, that you are so with Spirit so much of the time. Just a reminder to keep your feet on the ground, to make sure that you're attending your appointments, you're looking after yourself, you're getting out in the garden, putting things in, because, you know, the work never stops, she's telling me. She's also giving me some really lovely snapdragons, and she's also bringing me hollyhocks and all those beautiful cottage flowers. And marigolds are very important, so to her as well. So anything that's like calendula, that kind of thing, is very, very important. No, that's fine. Don't worry, Dee. Don't worry. Used to look after her garden. Oh, lovely. She's bringing that to me, which is very lovely, as I'm kind of looking out my window to my garden. I could do with you round at my garden, Debs, as I'm looking outside thinking, yeah, I could take a little bit of my medicine here. I've been so busy with other things, actually. It's so nourishing to the soul to kind of get out and get your hands in the soil, and, you know, a good day's work when you sit back at the end of the day and you look out and say, yeah, I've done a good job there. I can see where I've been. It's really, really soul nourishing to do that. And the flowers and the colours are really important to you. There's also something here about not forgetting things, boring things like dentist appointment and car MOTs. Just please make sure that you're just keeping on top of all of that as well. She was a very organised lady. She was one of these amazingly impossible, effortless women that could do all of the spiritual stuff and have a full sense of presence. And really, when she listened to you, it felt like she was listening to you, and she had all of the time in the world. And then she'd whip out a French pastry and just make it look easy. She's just got that kind of energy, and she's laughing with such a beautiful laugh, a cheeky laugh, a kind of like, yeah, she had a lovely, lovely self-effacing laugh, and she's bringing all of that to you. So she's coming around you with a bit of organisation. She's coming around you with a little bit of support. She's bringing you a lovely pastry. Not that we can probably eat pastry if you've got anything, that you've got to be careful what you eat, but it's just about nourishing you. So thank you, Debs. I'm going to leave your lovely, 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 lovely mum with you. She does sound beautiful, doesn't she, Helen? This is what I love about mediumship. I love people, and they don't change when they go to the spirit world. They're still as beautiful and joyful and complex and multifaceted and cheeky and shy and talented, and so many of our loved ones we never fully got to know when they were here with us, because they were wearing so many hats and dealing with all of the humanness of their existence. Once they're in the spirit world, they're free to return back to that joyful state, and the pain is gone, and any suffering or struggles is being worked through. And so we get to see the best of them as mediums, and we get to hear the best of them through these lovely spiritual messages. So that's why I love this. Debs, I'm going to leave this amazing lady with you. I'm not going to leave her with you. She's always with you. She's always with you. The love bond was so very, very strong, and she's so incredibly proud of you. So go out and continue that amazing family legacy of service for Spirit. Thank you, Debs. Thank you. Oh, beautiful. Love that. Thank you for all the confirmation, and thank you for all of the love in the comments as well, and all of for everyone who's she is always around, Debs. She is always around. She is never, ever, ever far for you. But she's like, no, that's my job. I'm never going to be far. She's always going to be with you. That was the role I took on. So, and she does it with such love in her heart. Thank you for everyone who's kind of shared this and shared the wonderful work at Thundersley and all of the amazing things they bring to you. Just helps a little Facebook algorithm. Just send it out to people who just need to have it ping up in their Facebook feed. Thank you. Okay, see who I've got now. Okay, let's see. Okay. Interesting. I might see who I'm drawn to, because there's no one immediately stepping forward. So I may have switched the dial on the radio. So let's try a different methodology and just have a indication of who I've got here. No, I haven't. There's a gentleman who's here, but he's oh my goodness. We've just gone from one very organized lady to a gentleman who was amazing, but he definitely needed somebody to organize his life for him. And that would have been so endearing. I also get some country conditions with this gentleman. He was quite broad around the chest. He would have been one of life's jokers. It feels like a granddad to me. So it would have been somebody who was born in and around the 1910s 1910s, 1920s. So it could be, he feels like my granddad, but we'll see whether this is dad or a granddad. He feels like he was born around the 1910, 1920s. He would have been in his prime, in his kind of like late teens, early 20s during the, Second World War time. He would have been coming through. Country conditions with this gentleman. Very broad, very strong, but he would have had a very, very difficult start to his life, coming from quite a big family. He also would have, he's got somebody, again, another birthday. He's got somebody who is born under the sign of Cancer, whose birthday is happening in and around now the early part of July, because he's coming in to acknowledge that. He's also acknowledging a little girl in the spirit world, a baby that would have been very young when they passed to the spirit world, who he brings in and he's looking after. So whether this is a grandchild. Okay. Hi, Christine. Hello. My uncle lived in the country, Karen. Okay, I'm going to keep talking. Can anyone take the little girl in spirit that he brings in? Because he's very much looking after this child that went to the spirit world, and he's kind of supporting as she's grown up, as she's growing up in the spirit world. Okay. Rebecca, I'm going to work with you if you can take the little girl. Thank you, Rebecca Whelan. Thank you for the confirmation. I'm so sorry. So sorry. It's just absolutely tragic. Please know that this little one, very, very, very beautiful soul, is growing up in the spirit world, very much with, you said it sounds like dad, Rebecca. Okay. Was he like his dad as well? Was your dad like his dad? So would there have been this absolute family serial? You know, when you, God, I don't know if he was a smoker as well at some point, because I just got a real of, like, I don't know what they were, those little cigar things that come in a tin, which would have been, so there's some kind of, he would have enjoyed celebrating life. You didn't know his dad. Okay, that's fine. Don't worry too much. But there's this kind of family legacy running down his side. He's telling me that you're not celebrating yourself enough, Rebecca, because you're doing an incredible job, and you just don't give yourself enough credit. And he's giving you a round of applause from Spirit World. I don't know what's going on around you, but I know that you have been through 6 months of 6 months of lots and lots of change, 6 months of you don't know whether you're punch drunk or countersunk, because it's just kind of coming left, right and center. And he's giving you a big pat on the back and a big round of applause, because what you achieve in one day is more than some people will achieve in a whole week, when you put your mind to it. But at the moment, it's been hell. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. I'm very aware that it has been, the amount of healing coming from this gentleman is quite incredible. He's an incredible healer. He's bringing so much energy to you, so much support. Big hands grabbing me in a bear hug. And I feel like you've got loads of people in the spirit world who are coming and gathering around you. You could have a whole busload of people that are here trying to give you that support and upliftment and trying to move the levers. And he's saying, I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying to do what I can. And I know you're going like the clappers as well, but he's trying to do what he can from the spirit world to try and move the energy on, because it's stuck and it needs to move on now. We need to kind of get past this a little bit. Because I get that you are tired and you need some healing, because it's been a very, very long, drawn out 6 months, like one thing after another. There's also, I don't know if there's an Irish connection to you, or whether he had some connection to, this feels like almost like, I don't know. Why was that then? Okay. Let that go and come back to it. Whether there was some connection to family over there, or something to do with the energy over there, or a holiday over there, or traveling. But I get the impression that although he wouldn't have been a big one for far-flung holidays abroad, like all over the gun, he actually did enjoy going out and exploring places. His dad was Irish. That's what it is. I'm picking up. Thank you. So I was like, is this somebody else coming in? Because I said you had a whole busload of people. I was like, just try and keep it in order. What I would say to you is that there's some excitement that's needed back in your life, a little bit of changing your horizons, getting away, you need a break, you need some kind of holiday, and he will be there with his little suitcase packed, supporting you. He would have loved exploring. He also would have really enjoyed geography and history, finding out about stuff. So I very much can see him when you go out for the day and you see the little information boards. He would have stopped and he would have read it all, because that's the kind of way his brain worked. He liked to find out about things. He liked to be informed about things. But you definitely need some excitement. Yeah, you definitely need a little bit of some good things to come into your life. So if there's a birthday coming up, then what I would say to you is he's absolutely going to be there with bells on for the celebration. And you need to make something of these celebrations and kind of like make an effort. I feel like I'm being very bossy, but you do need to make a little bit of an effort. What else do you also want to say? I don't know if you're going on a spiritual pilgrimage, Rebecca. This feels like there's a real time for introspection for you, and it feels quite formal. So I don't know whether you're going on a workshop or a retreat or a spiritual away day, or going somewhere nice, or even going to like the Rollright Stones or Stonehenge or somewhere. But because I don't know what your kind of like spiritual thing is, but I feel like there's some kind of pilgrimage needs to happen. And pilgrimage sounds very formal, but anything we do where we go in with the purpose of it being a spiritual experience or opening ourselves up or creating that space feels like that needs to happen. But I am also aware of the anxiety around you as well, of stepping out. I can feel that stepping out. So courage feels like it's really appropriate for you as well as a word, Rebecca. Stepping out with some courage at the moment. Not being frightened of what people. Just done a spiritual course. You go to Ireland spiritually. That's where the Irish thing came in. Amazing. Thank you for that confirmation. It's going to be the most beautiful experience for you. So notwithstanding all of the places you will go and the people you will meet, there will be, I predict, and I shouldn't predict, but I just have this feeling that your heritage, your lineage, having the time away, you going into that quiet place, and the energy of the place is going to move you on leaps and bounds in your spiritual understanding. Don't put pressure on it, because as we said, the path of the mystic is about going within. This is about the spiritual stillness, the spiritual quiet. You haven't had much opportunity for quiet, but these little adventures, these little stepping out of your comfort zone, pushing you a little bit, is just pushing you to the edge of your level of being comfortable. And that is the place that you grow. So, oh my goodness, Rebecca, I'm really excited for you. And your dad is supporting you 110% from the spirit world, giving you a big, big pat on the back. So yeah, Rebecca, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Getting out there is scary. You know, it is scary, especially if you've been, keeping yourself safe, protecting your immune system and all of that stuff since 2020. I absolutely understand. But this kind of feels like your time, and I'm really excited for you. I'm really, really, really excited for you, Rebecca. Oh my goodness, it's exciting. I'd love to hear all about it. Rebecca. I'm going to leave your lovely, lovely, lovely dad, that beautiful, beautiful spirit baby, spirit soul, in the spirit world, who's grown up with you as well, and all of the people, the whole minibus full of people from the spirit world who've come to be here this evening and are going to go on that minibus over to Ireland. And it'll be really interesting to see how many people pick up all of your people when you go and do your spiritual course over there. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Stay well, stay healthy, and keep your eyes on the prize of going on that course. Oh, love that. Thank you. And your dad said, I'm sorry for being late. I was busy. I was talking. I got distracted. But he's going to be there with you. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Amazing. Just trying to see who else. Lovely. Oh, Alicia, I'm sorry. Do you know, it's interesting. We were talking earlier, Alicia, that sometimes our spirit people come through because they know if they say certain things in a certain signature, it's going to make us go, oh, is that you, Auntie Margaret? And then what you do is you create the energy connection between you and Auntie Margaret and make it stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and send more and more energy up to that. And that what that does is that they bask in that light and you bask in that light, and you've created a beautiful little spiritual moment from the comfort of your own front room, even without getting a direct message. And then we can go away after this broadcast and then say, gosh, that was interesting how that much that sounded like you. It's a lovely the way the energy works. Let's see what we have got. I'm going to pull a couple of super quick reading cards because, thank you, Karen. Karen Butler, I haven't come to you before, Karen Butler. I'm very drawn to you instantly as soon as I saw it. Karen Butler, just pulled you a very beautiful inspiration card, and these ones from the light language cards. So this one, Karen Butler, for you, super quick, just to make you aware of an angelic energy around you. So I don't know whether you are looking into your angel guides, angel messages, angel numbers, but the angelic realm is very strong around you at the moment. And what I would say is please lean into that. I don't know if you're creating a little sacred space in your garden, or whether you're creating a little altar or some space that you can be connected to that angelic energy, because it's all around you at the moment. And whether you're aware of it or not, please just look for those signs. For me, everyone experiences angelic energy slightly differently. Some people experience it like a rush of energy, a coldness, a warmth, a tinkling, a heart fluttering, making your eyes flutter when you shut them in meditation. That just please be aware that that inspirational speaking energy, that inspirational healing energy is just coming and flowing around you at the moment. Very visual, very beautiful. So just please look out for that. You're also asking questions around your loved ones in the spirit world as well, and some of the relationships that maybe you didn't get the closure. You ran a circle running angel class. Oh, they are around you, Karen. They are around you. So you are doing divine work, and my goodness, it is so needed at the time. I am exploring angel Reiki and just the level of beauty and healing, multidimensional healing that brings. I wish you so much luck with that. Angels are needed on this planet more now than ever before. So I just wanted to leave that little message with you, Karen. Keep on. Thank you for the confirmation. Beautiful work. Thank you so much, Karen. Thanks for coming and thanks for being here. Amazing. I'm going to do another couple of quick messages. Nicholas Marie Stevens. Let's see what we've got for you. These are super quick little angel inspiration messages. Right. Now, Nicola Marie Stevens, for you, you need to think bigger, my darling, because you are so constrained with what you think you should be doing. Please do not compare yourself to anyone else. Please do not compare your spiritual journey to anyone else. You have spirit in and around you, giving you visions, spirit lights. You've got a very visual way of working with the spirit world. What I would say is don't constrain yourself to the way you think it needs to be. As I said earlier, in my philosophical address, you shine the light through your heart. You've got a very powerful heart center. This is the gateway of emotion. This is the sacred bridge that the mystics, Teresa of Avila and St. John of the Cross, all spoke about, the heart being the bridge of consciousness. Open that wide, allow your beautiful healing energy to flood out into the world, and spirit will move through that. Don't constrain yourself and work with spirit however you think you need to work with it, because you're ready to go now. You just need to think a little bit bigger, have confidence, have courage. There's also an interest here in meditation. And when I talk about meditation, about all different types of meditation. All different types. Obviously, spiritualists, we know about sitting in the power and meditation, but this is about all different types of meditation, including kind of like mindfulness, stress reduction. So the very scientific type of meditation. Use that as a tool. Use the breath as a tool to get yourself to a calm place. Lovely. You haven't had time for yourself, looking after others. I think it's your time. Oh, bless your son. This is about replenishing you now, having that quietness. You're doing an amazing job caring for so many other people, Nicola, but you've got a very big spirit are listening. They're listening to you meditating, and it is a good thing for you to do. Gets you into your body, gets you into your heart, grounds you, brings you down, gets you into the breath, moves your energy very fast, replenishes you. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Nicola. Love that. Love that. Love that. Amazing. Thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I can't get to more of you. I always love these evenings. Thank you so much for your patience. Karen, you're so welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. I love it. I love how proof comes through in lots of different ways. You are so welcome, Nicola. You are so welcome. I'm going to say cheerio, but I'll be back for the closing prayer. So I will stick around and listen to some of the lovely cards. But I absolutely love working with you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and your energy and your attention. I absolutely love it. Thank you. God bless. Where has the time gone?
God bless. Yeah, thank you so much, Ashley. So lovely. Well, as you say, we'll come back to you for a closing prayer after Frank's cards, if that's all right.
Of course.
Perfect. All right, lovely. What a lovely evening so far. Well, as we know, we can't get around to everyone with a message. That's why Frank from our church draws 3 animal cards each week. So let's see what Frank has for us this week.
Good evening. Our first crystal this evening is the rose quartz. And with that, we have the card for the collie dog. These dogs are about the need to review where you are heading, avoiding drama created by others and the struggle that isn't worth the effort. With these 2 adorable collies, it's quite the possible. They want you to understand that your current path isn't leading you towards the happiest possible outcome. So why not think about changing it? Collies are wonderful dogs, incredibly intelligent, loving and loyal. Our collies here are playing tug of war with a rope. Now that can be good fun, so long as it doesn't get overly competitive or take up all the energy that might be used elsewhere. If it is, drop the rope and choose a new game. Clearly, neither of these collies is getting anywhere or is going to win. Their friendly game reminds you to always stay within your integrity and compassion when working with others. It can also be giving you a heads up that perhaps someone isn't coming from the place of high moral standing in their dealings, which they have told you they are. Collies can be a welcome reminder to pay close attention to what's happening around you. They can also suggest that you choose your battles and rescues and missions wisely. Some just aren't worth the energy they require to complete. Collies can signal that you're caught up in another person's drama when you'd rather be spending that energy doing something else. So be careful that you don't let someone pick your games or missions or battles for you, that you take control and decide what you want next. And our second crystal is the citrine, and with that we have the card for the Mancoon kittens. The Mancoon kittens are about making a choice and not overthinking a decision, and maybe asking and listening to advice. It's time to stop delaying now and decide what you want to do next. The failure to do this is keeping you from moving forward on a very important issue or project. It's possible that you're spending too much time in your head when you should be listening to your heart. If more research is needed, then get busy now. However, also set a time limit for how much longer you're prepared to give and wait before a choice is made. Mancoon cats are beloved for their sweet, smart and adorable nature. Do you need to hear some advice now? These cats have large ears and large paws, and this will help you to make the decision you're putting off. There's some legwork called for you to get the additional information necessary to move forward now. Mancoons are also known for having water repellent fur. Water symbolises emotion. Are you thinking too much about your decision when you should be listening to your feelings and forging ahead with your next project? And our third crystal is the amethyst, and with that goes the card for the bee. The bee is about getting busy, having too much to do, and juggling priorities. Bees symbolise stress that comes from having too many irons in the fire. However, those irons are often very happy and exciting. So think of 8 wonderful, thrilling things you'd love to have happen in your life now. And imagine that they all happened at once. Chances are you'd be pretty overwhelmed. However, the stress you would be feeling would be from trying to juggle too many things at once. Bees can also indicate the need to prioritise, relaying or receiving very important messages, as well as travelling. Bees are delightful creatures whose lives are lived among beautiful flowers, furthering life on earth through pollination, while creating honey for the hive. In short, they're busy doing very important and lovely things. Busy as a bee, as the old saying says. And an apt message for this card. Marigolds were chosen as the flowers depicted here because they represent breaking tasks down into manageable pieces so that everything can get done without being too overwhelming. You'll notice that this flower is beautifully intricate, with dozens of perfectly overlapping petals clustered into florets to form the final blossom. Just as small individual steps build on each other to manifest the end goal or dream in your life. Similarly, it is a contribution of every worker bee that collectively forms the honeycomb. If life feels stressful, remember to be grateful for opportunities that are presenting themselves to you, and just take things one step at a time, and your result will be there for you. 3 nice cards there tonight, very much about prioritising and organising your life and taking things one step at a time. I hope you enjoyed those.
Lovely. Thank you, Frank. Okay, friends, let's bring tonight's service to a close then. We'll go back to Ashley for a closing prayer, and then I will play out the closing Vesper, Grant us thy peace, as we always do online and in church. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you again for everyone who's joined this evening. Really pleasure to be with you. If you'd like to settle yourself into that still quiet place within, allow your eyes to close if that feels comfortable to you, and just take a couple of deep breaths to center yourself and join me in prayer. Divine presence. Presence that is near and far to us. That Christ light that burns at the very center of our being. we take a moment now to just pause in the stillness. In this world of distraction and noise, you are there for us. We give thanks for all of those pioneers, all of those people who have gone before us, those people in our family, in our lineage, those fearless spiritualist pioneers, and also those brave disciples that thought to find a new way. We give thanks for the spirit that you place within us, for the flame. We give thanks that we know that we are never alone. We ask now for your support to awaken within us that authority that we hold within us, that power, to recognize it when we feel it, to know the presence of discernment and that spiritual energy as it comes around us. Please help us to walk this path not from a place of ego, but from a place of service. Please help us to trust the guidance that you give us. We thank you for coming through in dreams and intuition and messages, and we are listening to what you tell us. Please allow us to say a sacred yes to what emerges from within our own soul. Please can we walk from this moment feeling empowered, carrying a light within us, a light of compassion and understanding. Please allow us to be used in service as we go from this place inspired and uplifted and in a feeling of community and being together. Allow us to reach out where we're needed. But for this evening, friends, we would like to send our love to our friends in the spirit world. And please send that blessing to all those in need around the world, the four corners of the earth. Please send that light and that healing to surround the whole planet. And anyone who feels lonely and in need, we pray that they find their way to the light. And so it is. Amen.
Well, a very, very big thank you to Reverend Ashley Oliver for a beautiful service tonight, a lovely address earlier, and some lovely messages. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you also to our medium in church tonight, who is Jenny Eldridge. Jenny, I hope you had a lovely evening in church with everyone. Thank you to Frank for chairing in church tonight. Thank you to Peter for the Bible reading. And thank you again to Frank for the animal cards at the end. Thank you all for watching online and staying with us all evening. We really love to have your company here at Thundersley. We will be back next Sunday at 6:30 again, so I hope you can join us then. But until then, have a great week ahead and take care. Good night.